This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield and co-host Marnie Winfield.
I seen somebody wearing their 217 Recovery Podcast t-shirt today. It was new, it was walking around, it was hovering above the ground, looking awesome. He was certainly happy to get that, I assume because he was wearing it.
It is the 22nd of October, 2022. My name's Corey Winfield.
My name's Marnie Winfield.
I just laugh at that one. There's so much stuff going on. And I had to look up because I thought you were vaping or something. I was like, what? Because I heard vaping, and then you hear the cricket machine going crazy, and then Chris Goss just being Chris Goss, just kind of talking all over the place. And yeah, it cracks me up. You know, that was back when we were in the room. We would go to a room, and Ryan, Chris, and I would record the podcast, and we made shirts in that room. It was actually Ryan's kind of bedroom.
Wasn't it like an enclosed porch?
Yeah, it was like a sunroom.
Yeah.
And Ryan was just like, I want this as my bedroom. And the guy who owned the house was like, sure. Yeah. Might get cold. And Ryan was like, I don't care. It was neat. It was fun. It's crazy when you look back at situations when you're in, and sometimes if you would ask me, hey, is this great, are you having fun, I would say I'm a co-manager of a sober living home of, I don't know how many guys there are, 8 or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, real fun. Can't bring women home. No, that really wasn't my problem, but yeah, but looking back at it, it was fun. And even when I lived at Nathan's house, you know, with like 16 guys, I had fun. Mm-hmm. But again, if you would ask me in those times, hey, is this fun? I said, no. I sleep in the bottom of a bunk bed.
Right.
I'm 40 years old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is fun. No, but I look back and it's like those meetings that we'd go to, and it was just a good time, you know, and I was sober. And I was learning how to live sober and learning how to deal with life and issues and problems, mm-hmm. and success a little bit.
Yeah.
So those are fond memories I have now.
Yeah, me too. I feel the same way.
So just throwing it out there. Somebody's like, I don't want to go to sober living. It's not for me. I can't live like that. Because there'll be excuses. Mm-hmm. I had them. I used to have them until I was in treatment, and a couple of my friends in there were like, I'm gonna go to sober living after, and I'm like, psh. And I really started thinking about my options, and it's like, okay, well, my apartment has got cleared out. I don't have it any longer. I can go home and live with mom, stepdad, and I don't want to go to sober living, live with a bunch of dudes. And when I thought that I didn't want to go, that's when I realized, okay, I have to. Mm-hmm. You have to start doing some of those things that you don't want to do because, well, I don't feel like it, or I don't want to, you know, because it's inconvenience for me. Those are times where you can test yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, it was like, push harder, man. Like, because you don't want to do it, that's exactly what you need to do.
Yep.
There's nothing that's going to physically harm me there. There's nothing bad about it. And for me, it allowed me to kind of start over. You know, would I have started this podcast if I just went to my mom's? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. Would I have started 217 Recovery and help people get to treatment? Absolutely not. Would I have met you? Absolutely not. So I think I made the right choice.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like when I went to sober living, I was actually in drug court at the time, and it was like I needed that kind of structure. I needed that living environment to be able to stay focused and get everything done that I need to be done. And I remember, I mean, I didn't really like, and this, I think it is what you make of it. You know, like I didn't really engage with the other residents in the house, really. Like the other ladies, like they were fine, you know, but it wasn't like I was making friends, like good, you know, friends at the time. We would go to meetings together and all that. But I was just really focused on things I had to do. You know, I was working 2 part-time jobs. I was, you know, going to all my necessary drug testing and, you know, all my meetings. I was doing 90 and 90, which I'm glad I did that, and getting really involved in some of like the recovery stuff that was going on at the time. I had a sponsor, so I was checking the boxes of all the stuff I needed to do, and yeah, I mean, I didn't resent it. I wasn't like, this sucks. Was it ideal? Absolutely not. But it was fine. It was like you said, it was a comfortable enough, safe place to be in, and it's exactly where I needed to be at that time.
Yeah, you didn't have a Corey Winfield in there keeping the house all together.
No.
Because Tyrone said something like that. He's like, it all went to hell when you left, man. Mm-hmm. Like you the glue that held it together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I was. But I did kind of extra things that I wasn't, it wasn't my job title to take guys to the food bank, but I did. And I don't know, I just like to have fun.
Yeah.
And Chris Goss was there. He was a big part of that. Tyrone was there. He was a huge part of that too. Like, it was just a good group of guys, Yeah. It really was. And this last time when you went to treatment, you got out. You didn't go to sober living.
No.
So not every time, it's going to work. The first time I went to sober living, it was a disaster. I wasn't there for the right reasons, and I thought I could still drink in there. No one would know. Like, I moved in to this first place, and it was horrible. My roommate was just some weirdo. Woke up talking about his wiener, and I'm like, bro, don't ever talk to me about that again. And then that house had bed bugs or something. So it was an excuse, but I didn't like that house at all. And then I moved to this other house. It was a lot nicer. I didn't really want to know anybody there. And I think the first or second night, the guy that was my roommate moved out. And I had some interview with some radio station in South Dakota or North Dakota, someplace I did not ever want to go. But I thought, I'll take it, and I had an interview to be a forklift driver, and I got that job, and they had me come in and do some crap, and I didn't want to do that at all. And on the way home, I passed like a Meijer or something. I don't think it was a Meijer, Family Fare. It was something like that. I just passed it. I just pulled in. I'm going to give me a couple fifths. Thought that would be a great idea. And I got home, I started drinking, and then I had the interview, which the guy never called me back. I don't remember. I was drunk. I don't know how drunk. Because back then it was like, all right, how much can I drink now? Like super fast. And my liver, wasn't all that healed up yet. And it was a disaster. Oh, when you're not there for the right reasons, it is.
Right.
I just had a guy send me a message the other day, and he's like, hey, I know somebody who might need a ride to, detox. And I kind of said, yeah, we do that. Here's some people that we work with, but you need to follow these steps and reach out to these people because we have no control over that. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, he'll probably want to go to this place because he was just there for 90 days. And I was like, oh my gosh. And relapse is part of addiction, so I get that. And I used to be the king of relapsing, so I get that. But man, I had never been in a place. I still have never been to a place for 90 days. Mm-hmm. And God willing, I won't. The longest I was at a place was 60. But I couldn't imagine being at a place 90 days. And I don't know, man, that would just suck. That would be horrible. Yeah. 90 days and then get out and then just go right back to it.
Well, and, I was talking to my supervisor about that the other day, and she's talking about how, like ERs and so on kind of have this, they frown upon, our population in terms of like return people that come in because of drug and alcohol issues. And how like the detox center can't have that mentality, obviously, for obvious reasons, but that when you have a client that, goes into treatment and then goes back out into the world and relapses and shows back up a detox, that means that the seed was planted, right? Like they have options. They could have stayed out there for a year. They could have stayed out there for 2 years, but something clicked and they knew that life could be better. And people don't look at it that way. Like, oh my gosh, he just got out of treatment, 3 weeks ago, and now he's back at detox. Ugh, eye rolling, scoffing, what have you. When really it shouldn't be that way. It's like he figured out that it doesn't work, and he knows that, or she knows that there was something that was clicking, that made sense at one point. And so let's get back on track. And that means that there's, some progress has been made.
Yeah, because I think whether you have 10 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, a year, it'll pop in your head. I can just do it this weekend. The addiction's still there talking to you. And you've heard it a million times. I have too. While you're inside the treatment center getting healthy, your addiction is outside doing push-ups. Yeah. Just building up, getting stronger, and they're going to come at you harder. And it does in your brain. It comes at you so hard. And it's just like, oh my God. But after many times of, I can just do it this weekend. Oh, that didn't work last time for me. But this weekend it's going to be different because, and then I make some excuse up and then when I got out of treatment that last time too, and I was on probation. So that was another reason why. Plus I went to sober living. But I knew that it doesn't work. I can't just drink today. I can't just drink tomorrow. There's not a free pass on the weekend. I don't work that way. It's all in.
Yeah.
And a guy once said, just stay away from the first drink.
Yeah. And if you take the people that have long-term sobriety, whatever that looks like, let's just say over 5 years sobriety, right? If you take those people and ask them if they were people that attended treatment centers, right, and said, how many times did you go to treatment before you got this 5 years? The average time, I think it's like 5 to 7 is like the average amount of times that people try going through treatment and then finally kind of get it.
Yeah, because you learn a little bit each time. And for me, I left early. I'm sure a lot of people leave early. Oh, there's always an excuse. And when I worked at treatment centers, I'd see guys leave early. One guy was going to leave early because it was 4th of July. I'm not going to mention names, Brian, but he listens. And it was so funny because he's like, yeah, I'm just going to have, so-and-so pick me up. He was my dealer. And I was like, whoa, what? Yeah, he's my dealer, but he wants me to do good. He's going to give me a car. And I'm like, give you the car that you bought him? Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, that's horrible. And that's as far as I went with it. Then I walked outside and I was like, hey, guys. And there was like 20 guys in there. And they're like, what? And we all like this Brian guy, if that's his name. And I was like, listen to this story. I was like, he wants to go home early because 4th of July. Guess who's going to pick him up, And they're like, what? And it was just like throwing him to the wolves. They were just all on his ass. And he changed his mind and he stayed. But Brian, or if that's his name, he went through some hard times though. But he got back up and tried it again. Like that's what you can do. And yeah, to go to a place for 90 days and then get out and be like, floop. I'm just assuming that it was that thought that, probably crept in his head. I can just do it. No one's going to know. And nope.
Yeah.
No, you can't go back to your drug of choice. You just can't. Or you can substitute it and that'll lead you right back to your drug of choice too. Maybe that happened. I don't really know this guy's situation, but.
Right.
But yeah, man, that would suck. Hopefully he gets where he needs to go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play the intimacy game.
Yeah. Let's play the
I don't know why I said it so weird.
Because that's how you sing it.
Intimacy game. Yeah, but we'll do that in just a second. If you want to draw cards, I'll tell you about the story that I left off with, or I closed with last night that I didn't tell. So my sister's Freyon, which I think she just knows him. I said it was her Freyon, her friend, and I don't know really exactly if it is, but there was another story that was kind of tied to it. And it was this woman who, if we're friends on Facebook, you can go to my page and you can see it. You might think, wow, she's really pretty. I mean, I don't know. It's not that. I mean, whatever. I'm not commenting about that. But the woman's 36, and she pled guilty to second-degree criminal sexual conduct. And she was sentenced to 5-year probation and 1 year in jail. And she has to register as a sex offender for life and have a lifetime GPS monitoring. Like, that's pretty crazy. It's happened
life?
down in southern Michigan. Yeah. The guy that she had relations with was 14. He had just turned 14. And the mom of him says he's experienced depression, anxiety, and he's on tons of medications now. But back to this, though. She apologized to the victim and this family and said, I did not want to hurt anybody. I genuinely mean it when I say I'm sorry. And she said, you know, that she was in this horrible relationship. And the Cass County Circuit Judge, Mark Herman, said that there was no justification for Smith's action, no matter whether she was in a long-term abusive relationship. He noted that he will send her to prison if she violates her probation. Think of how you'd feel if this happened to your daughter, he said. This is not something that is tolerated in our civilized society. You're going to receive the maximum sentence I can impose. You will have a year away from your daughter and a year to reflect on your actions. First of all, the defense attorney said, look, man, she was a victim of domestic violence. Her ex-boyfriend was just horrible and made her more susceptible and blurred the lines. But I just don't think you can say that someone in a abusive relationship that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And of course, I wasn't at this trial. She pled guilty. They didn't want to do a whole thing to bring the kid in to make it worse. So she took the plea deal. So there wasn't like all the stuff that came out, but we don't know a lot of facts about what happened. Mm-hmm. You know, if this ex-boyfriend was so bad, maybe he suggested this take place. I mean, I don't know, man. Was there drugs involved? Mm-hmm. I bet you.
Right.
I'll bet you $5 that there was. You know, did that stuff come into play? I'm not saying what this woman did was right, not at all. But there's just a lot of stuff about it that we don't know. And for the judge just to say, just because you're in an abusive relationship doesn't make this right. No, it doesn't make it right. But she's not trying to say it was right. You know, like
right.
A sick person or a mentally
it's people that have been through
damaged
trauma.
person. Yeah.
People that have been through trauma are scarred in a lot of different ways. And it's very complicated. It's different for everyone. Everyone's experience is different. Everyone's healing is different. So, I mean, that's awful. I can't believe that was said.
I know. I mean, if he wants to punish her and stuff, okay, cool, get it. But how about we get her a little bit of help? Mm-hmm. You know, because clearly there's something going on there.
Right.
You know, none of that. Yeah, just reflect on. You have a year in jail. Go reflect on it. There's not really much reflecting going on in jail. Mm-hmm. At least the jail I was in.
Right.
I don't know. It just really kind of irked me, and I'm not a big fan of judges. Throw that out there right now. I think we should just do away with them. we can fire them. Get a whole. How about we start a different system? You know, it's really not England anymore. Like we broke away from them. That's how they did it. We just kind of took some of their stuff with us. Like, hey, this will work. And then the people that founded this country decided, hey, let's tweak and bend stuff so it works for us. And then I don't know. Let's put these judges on there. You know, like what is a judge? What does he do? Well, I know what he does, but like seriously, like what makes that person better? He's not God. Sometimes they think they are, and there are some good judges out there. Not saying all judges are bad, but the ones I've come across for the most part, like I could do without them. You know, if we want to have a jury of our peers, you know, a lot of times it's not even our peers that are up there. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I'll work on that after I get the transportation stuff figured out. But no, I just think we should do away with them. We can start that up. We could find a better solution. Have AI figure it out. Why not? Idiocracy, that movie, it had something like that in there.
I don't remember that movie.
What?
I don't
think
remember
you were a big fan of it.
Probably not.
Has Luke Wilson.
Oh, yeah. No.
And he was like, he got arrested, but then like they were like, you're a genius, because it like read his IQ or something. It's
Yeah.
he's like,
no.
what? Yeah, that movie's great. If you've never seen any Idiocracy, you should watch it. Don't take Marty's word. Go away, I'm baiting. That was his slang term for masturbating.
Oh.
Go away, I'm baiting. It was Dak Shepard. It's funny. But seriously, watch it and you go, oh my God, we're heading that way.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so for sure. Tonight on the Intimacy Game. Oh, what time is it? It's Saturday night, and that means one thing. They're both gonna answer questions honestly. It's time for the Intimacy Game. Corey and Martney. Draw a question from the box, and we're gonna answer it honestly. Honestly. Here on the Intimacy Game. Intimacy Game. Intimacy. Time for the Intimacy Game. What? Intimacy Game. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, Intimacy Game is the game I got. Wedding gift. It's awesome. It has little cards in it.
It's an anniversary gift.
Oh, that's what I meant. The wedding gift of 1 year. And so we read the questions. They haven't been too crazy so far, but one day it's going to be awkward.
Probably.
But I don't think it's going to be tonight, at least with my question,
Okay.
which I will ask Marnie. I'll ask you first.
Okay.
You answer it, and then you flip it back to me, and then I answer the same question.
Gotcha.
Marnie, what book do you believe I would benefit most from reading?
Well, I read this and I actually made you read some parts of it, and it's a really good book. It's called, and I might mess up the title, but we have it actually. If you want to read it, I'll let you read it. It's called The Languages of Love. And it talks about different, it's kind of sort of like what this game's supposed to be geared around. And it's about how to communicate, like, you know, better with your partner, and just how different people like interact with each other positively, you know, because of how they handle emotions. And it's a good book.
All right, well, I don't think I'm going to read that, but it's good to know that I would benefit from reading it.
Yeah, I think everybody would benefit from reading it.
A book I believe you would benefit from reading is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
It's a great book. I got an audio book, Audible, whatever.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that book.
Yeah, and it's a good book. I listen to it from time to time. I'm taking those long drives, and it's like, yep, I got to work on that more. Okay.
Good.
Your question.
All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10.
10.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know, maybe.
How comfortable are you with public displays of affection? Explain.
Well, it depends where we're at. If we're at church, what kind of public display? Is it hand holding? Is it kissing?
We're not talking about that's what you're
ass
going to talk
grabbing?
about. That's what you're going to talk about.
Grocery
Explain.
store, probably about 9, 10. Church, about 4. You know, but I mean, there's hugging in church. I don't know. It depends where you're at. You're at a funeral. Probably not going to smack you on the boot. Well, I don't know. I might smack you on the booty. So I don't know. I'd say I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say same. I think I'm more uncomfortable that if you would be uncomfortable, right? I mean, I'm not big on like, you know, I'm not gonna like make out or anything in, you know, public place, but I I don't know. It's more like, and it has to do with what environment we're in, what setting we're in. You know what I mean? Who we're around. And if it's appropriate. You know,
Well,
little pecks on the cheek or,
remember when we were in Grand Rapids and we were out for my birthday dinner, and we looked over and there was like, it wasn't a full size booth table, it was half size. And there was a gentleman probably about 65.
Yeah, I remember this.
Female was probably about 18. And they were like sitting next to each other. And then that for me was uncomfortable to see that.
Yeah.
First of all, the age difference, but then that table was so small.
Right.
Like it wasn't a big booth where you like slide on over. You know,
Right.
It was really weird and it was very uncomfortable. Like just looking
Yeah.
at like, wait, like, okay, there's a lot of things wrong with this here. And then not just the age, but it was like, nah, it wasn't like, it was weird. Like it was creepy rich white old man-ish.
Yeah, I
that's a
think we
word.
might have talked about that on the podcast, actually.
Probably did. Because
Yeah.
it was very creepy and weird.
No, but overall, I mean, I'm proud of you, and so like I love kind of, I don't know, it's not like showing it off or anything, but like, you know what I mean? Like we're a couple, and so like sitting close to you or whatever, and I mean we hold hands sometimes, but not often. Not big into hand holding.
Because you're too busy holding so.
Oh my God.
Well, your purse. You got your purse with you all the time. What? Oh, honey, get your mind out of the gutter, would you please? Gosh.
That's what's up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's the story of the podcast today. Oh, Adam from the Stone Soup Recovery Podcast, he sent me a Wikipedia link. And it's the villager people. There were some yeah, I'm just going to stop right there. Can't talk right now. Villagers that were poor were going around convincing the other people of the village to donate for the pot that everybody could enjoy.
Oh, okay. See, I knew I was close, but
Yeah.
that was a little off.
So
So,
still kinda-
sorry, Adam.
Like, I get that. Hey,
It's still awesome.
if everybody contributes, we all eat well. 217recovery.com/donate. We just need 10 cents from everybody. Just 10 cents.
From the world.
Yep, everybody in the world.
Everybody in the
Just
world.
donate 10 cents. Everybody could do it. And it would benefit us, the world. Everybody would get a little piece of it. Everybody gets a shout out. Nah, but that was pretty cool. I don't know when they're going to post their new episode, hopefully soon. I made him an intro.
Yeah.
Did I play that for you? Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was all right. They liked it, so that was cool.
Yeah.
But that's all I got, though, tonight.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about anything in your life?
Prayers going out to my stepdad. He's not doing so hot. So he's in the hospital at Munson. So I'm going to go and stop by, say hello.
Yeah, and you're doing, like, you helped your mom out earlier. And now you're going to go bring her dinner. And I mean, and you're like, I'm getting some good daughter points. But but like, your mom doesn't listen, so.
No.
But it's like, when you help people out and you go above and beyond to help people, you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's when you start learning what life's about too. You know, it's like, do you want to drive across town to do all this and do that? No, you don't. But when you do it and you're driving home, you're going to be like, glad I did that, because
for sure.
she really needed it.
Yeah. And my mom has been there for me.
Yeah.
Through thick and
I'm
thin,
sure
so, I
tons of
mean,
times she didn't want to do shit.
If I have a problem going to pick up some Wendy's and drive it to the hospital, then I got some serious problems
Yeah.
in terms of gratitude.
But the selfishness will take over sometimes. You just got to check yourself. I'm like,
I totally did too. And I was just like, you know, I was like, come on, get it together. Like, you know. So.
all right. Well, prayers go out.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. 217recovery.com is our website. You can go check out our videos. We do have the Recovery Spotlight videos if you haven't seen them. We're not like talking about, oh, I drank 18 gallons of liquor a night. We're not like doing that kind of stuff. We're just like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Here's what it feels like. So just check out the videos.
Yeah.
And get the app, 217 Recovery Podcast, if you're searching for the app in the Google Store or the App Store. And the logo on that's going to change.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you get a new button soon, don't be surprised.
Nice.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. For more episodes plus bonus features, download the 217 Recovery app and support recovery by rating us in the App Store.